This is Rabbi Shmuel Pollan. I want to welcome you to the channel, and I was thinking what I could do that would be exciting for you as a way to start off this playlist. And I figured the most exciting thing I could do is to teach you how to become all-powerful. Now, what do I mean by all-powerful? Well, power is options. So if you are too scared to jump into a pool, you don't have the option to go into the pool. If you can only argue one side of a debate, you don't have the option to argue the other side of the debate. If you are addicted to cocaine, you do not have the ability to not take cocaine. And if you are afraid of death, you are not able to live your life in a full way. And I want to give an example of someone who I think has reached this level of being all powerful. It is the pilot from flight Air Canada 143. And he said as follows, because his plane was going over the ocean and they realized halfway through they only had half the gas that they needed, half the fuel that they needed to make it to the other side. And they went through an unbelievable circumstance where everybody thought as a 99% certainty that they were going to die, and everyone was writing out their wills. And the pilots did some maneuvers that they were never able to simulate again that actually worked, and they were able to land safely, and everyone was okay. And it was such an unbelievable situation that this pilot said, I guess from this point of view, and I find it very difficult to say, but Gimli, which is the place where they landed, was the best thing that ever happened to me next to meeting my wonderful wife. Now, people always say, next to meeting my wonderful wife, they're being kind to their wife, but really, this is the greatest thing that ever happened to him. This encounter with certain death, and not only death, his death, but the death of all the people in his care, wound up being the greatest thing that ever happened to him in his life. So that's what's going to happen here. This is going to be the greatest thing that ever happened to you in your life, and you're not going to have to go through Gimli. You're not going to have to go through these difficult situations, because what we're going to do is we're going to simulate going through these situations, and your soul won't know the difference. We're going to go through the same spiritual growth as if we had been through the experience without actually having to go through it. When you're through with this, you will be able to think what you want to think, feel what you want to feel, and do what you want to do. And if you're interested in being able to be physically unlimited, I would recommend other people like David Goggins and Wim Hof. But this is really going to be more important to your life. As on a day-to-day basis, this will affect you more, your spiritual life. Okay, we're going through the simulations. I recommend you take out a paper and pen and write this down, because this is going to be something that you take with you through your life, and it will be a source of courage and inspiration that will make you be able to handle any situation that might come up. So the first simulation we're going to do is actually imagining that we lost our left leg. Maybe it was in a car accident or a plane accident or something like that, and we lost our left leg, and how would that affect our life? Think about the mourning that you would have towards the loss of your leg. Think about the pants that you'd have to cut. Think about what you do in work. Think about the embarrassment of what it'd be like to be different from other people. How would you overcome it? Write down the situation, all the things that would happen, and all the ways that you would overcome it. Because some people actually have the situation and they actually don't have one leg, and now we'll be able to empathize with them. And when you feel all the painful feelings now, it will free you from worrying about the actual real thing, because you've already been through it in your mind, and now you won't have to go through it in real life, because you've made that spiritual growth that you need to be able to overcome a situation where you lost your leg. Congratulations. Okay, here we go. This is my favorite one. It's about your happiness. You can be as happy as you want to be. It's completely within your control. Don't think your emotions control you. Don't think anxiety controls you. Don't think depression controls you. It is entirely within your control. I do understand and admit there are certain forms of anxiety and depression that require medication, and no amount of thinking can get you out of it. But for the rest of you, your thinking can get you out of it 100%, and I'm going to explain to you how. Please look at this optical illusion. If you look at the line towards the bottom that's going across the picture, if that's a necklace, you're going to see a beautiful young girl. If that is a mouth, you're going to see an old hag, a very ugly woman. And your life is the exact same way. Every single situation in your life can be viewed A, as a beautiful situation, or B, as an ugly situation. And you need 3 tools to do this properly. And they are the game lens, the story lens, and the lesson lens. And these are lenses that you put on your eyes, and it's the way that you look at the situation, it's the way you frame it. And in doing so, you can feel whatever you want. Feelings are 100% controlled by your thoughts. So if you want to control what you feel, you have to control your thoughts, and you have to think smarter. Think in ways that serve you better. And if you're a mother and you're mopping up a milk spill and you're late to school for your kids, you can just look at that as an ugly situation, or you can look at it as a beautiful situation using the game lens. Because if this mopping up situation of the milk was actually a game and an arcade game, you would pay to play it. If you had to mop up the milk and beat the clock, it's a challenge. It's interesting. It's fun. It's actually a fun thing. And it's even greater than the game because it's in real life. When someone is overweight and they're fat and they get rejected by a girl, that could be the end of it, and it's an ugly situation. Or maybe he continues and then eventually finds a girl, and now he can write a book about how fat people can get dates. And it could be a whole career for him. He can make a lot of money off of it. So what seemed like an ugly situation became beautiful because he put on the story lens. And then finally, the lesson lens, which could be applied to anything, even a car accident. How could a car accident become a beautiful situation? How is that possible? I'll tell you. It's because when you go through a car accident, you come out of it alive, you have a new appreciation for life. So it's worth it to lose a car, to have your new appreciation of life and be happier for the rest of your life, to have gratitude for the rest of your life. And that's through these 3 tools. You can put them on and look at any situation and look at them as a beautiful, happy, playful situation, or you can look at it as ugly. It's totally your choice, but your emotions, now that I've told you the secret, are completely 100% under your control. You are all powerful when it comes to your emotions. This episode is brought to you by BioFit. While you're getting it together spiritually, also get it together physically. Diets don't work. We know this. People just gained back all the weight they lost in 2 weeks because their metabolism became so slow. Is there a better way? My friend Chris Fox found exactly that, a way to lose weight while eating your favorite foods. There has never been anything like this in the fitness world, and it's based on 20 peer-reviewed studies. If you're absolutely sick of that belly fat and you want to lose it in a matter of weeks, you need to check out this revolutionary BioFit. Since I know the owner, you get a special deal with my special link. Link is in the description. Go to biofitchris.com. That's biofitchris.com and tell him I sent you. Okay, we're moving along and we're going through sort of like a trauma, but we're simulating it so we don't have to go through it in real life. And the truth is that the only way to reach your soul is to get rid of everything that is not your soul. So one thing that's not your soul is your educational upbringing, your truisms. And let's just go through some of them and see how they can actually be debunked. Some things never change. That's a truism. But is that really true? I mean, we know the wave theory of matter, that everything is a wave, and that's constantly changing, and the trees are constantly changing, and nature's constantly changing, the weather's constantly changing, a lot of things are changing. So some things never change is not actually true, and you shouldn't be stuck to it. It shouldn't be part of your soul, because that's not your true soul. God is the only perfect being, and this statement is not perfect, therefore it is not godly. And the next statement that I'm going to discuss is it is what it is. Things have so much potential. I mean, you can take one atom and make a nuclear bomb. You can't say it is what it is. Things can be tremendously more than what they are. So this one is, again, debunked. Patience is a virtue. That's a common statement. But maybe action, massive action, and trying to change the world is more of a virtue than patience. So that can be debunked. The apple never falls far from the tree. Well, we know the story of Abraham. He became a monotheistic Jew, even though his parents were idol worshippers of the highest sort. So the apple can fall very far from the tree. It is possible for generations in the future to take a completely different course than the generation in the past. And then there's money doesn't buy happiness. That's not actually true either, because when someone does have creditors then be hunted down, money actually takes away those problems and makes them happier. Money past a certain point, when you get to $1 million a year up to $1 billion a year, there is no increase in happiness in doing that. That's true. But money does sometimes buy happiness, which means this is not a totally true statement. It's not a godly statement. It's not 100% true. And these truisms should not be connected to you, trapping your thinking into these statements and allowing them to trap you. And what you need to be is free of them and able to think totally freely if you want to be someone who has free choice and be all powerful. The next thing I'm going to do to free you up is we're going to talk about politics. I've got news for you. Some of you are fighting over politics. The truth is, no one side is completely right and no one side is completely wrong. There is good on both sides and there is bad on both sides. And your job is actually to find the good on this side and to find the good on that side and minimize the bad on that side and minimize the bad on that side. When I was on the debate team, they would give us certain papers that would tell us what position to take, and then they would have us switch and take the opposite position. That's what you need to be able to do if you want to be free when it comes to politics. You should be able to take anybody's side. That means you should sit down with a paper and take any thing you disagree on and write out the other person's point of view and why it's true. Then so the people on the other side do the same thing. Take their point of view and write down in some way it is true, and you need to find that way. Listen to Fox News for a week if you listen to CNN. If you watch CNN, listen to Fox News for a week and totally get into the other side for a week and realize the freedom that you actually have to argue both sides and that you don't need to be stuck in one or the other, and therefore you will be free and more powerful in the fact that you are able to find solutions that compromise between both sides or take the best of both sides. The next thing we're going to do is free you up on the topic of religion. Now, let me be clear. I'm an Orthodox religious Jew. I'm a rabbinical Jew. I was one of the Pharisees if I was living in the times of Jesus. And that is my religion, and I'm 100% committed to it. I'm all in. But you have to be able to live opposites, because you have to be able to be all in for your religion, and I believe you all should be 100% committed to your particular religion. And you should also follow the 7 Noahide laws, which we can discuss at another time. But you have to understand that even though your religion is something that you should commit to, it's not perfect. Only God is perfect. Only your soul is perfect. The religion is not perfect. The people who lead the religion are not perfect. Not everything they say is right. So you have to be able to be committed to your religion and also have the open-mindedness to recognize that there might be a few things that are wrong with the religion, and there might even be some things that are better about other religions. You have to have that open-mindedness because many people were killed over religious dogmatism, which is saying that my religion is right, your religion is wrong, and you don't even have a right to live if you don't follow my religion. That is absolutely wrong and not what religion is supposed to be about. It's all about doing unto others as you want done unto yourself. So you have to have an open-minded nature and realize that your religion is not perfect, and there could be some things that are better about other people's religion, and maybe you should inculcate that into your religion. But you absolutely have to be free when it comes to religion, not locked in the sense that you cannot see other people's point of view. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is losing your name. That's kind of a trauma to lose your name. You've grown up as Gary your entire life, and it seems tied together. It seems like you are Gary, but the truth is you are not. You are a soul, and you're not tied down by anything, not even your name. So when I work with people individually, we go through the process of changing their name. We don't actually change their name unless they want to. If you want to change your name, go right ahead and do it. I actually have another name that I use sometimes, and it brings out a certain freedom in yourself, knowing that you're not tied down to anything, not even your name. So go ahead, do the research on what it takes to change your name and to go through the process if you want to, or just simulate doing it and have people call you that name a couple times and just see what it's like to take on another name, and that will free you. Now, when it comes to death, let me just say that I think this is what David was saying when he said he went through the valley of the shadow of death and he feared no evil. I believe he was doing what we're doing, which is going through simulations. He was imagining that he was dying and overcoming that fear so that he was able to live a true life. And let me just say that if you made it to this point, you are all-powerful. You do not need to go through any of these problems anymore. God should bless you with a tremendously blessed life in all areas of health, wealth, and relationships. And may you always keep in mind that you are an unlimited soul and you're always able to think what you want. You don't have to be depressed. You don't have to be anxious. You don't have to be addicted to anything. You're always able to have the free choice to do what you want. Now, here's the cautioning tale, is that once you have free choice and now you are so powerful as you are, you don't want to waste it on things that will take away your free choice. So if you use the free choice to play video games all day, that's a choice, but it will take away your free choice. It will eventually erode what you have because you'll become addicted to it. If you use it on heroin, you'll become addicted to it. If you use it on anything that's against the Bible is there to keep you free and out of addictions and depression and anxiety. and jealousy, and follow the Bible to see what are the proper routes you can take, because there's so many things you can do for the side of good, like working in a soup kitchen, like giving a little charity in a charity box every single day, having gratitude, doing prayer, doing meditation, taking walks in nature. There's so many positive things that will get the right hormones going and will make you more and more free, and you can affect other people by being free, and you will become a beacon of light, and people will just see you and want to be near you and experience great delights in just feeling the goodness that you exude. And what I think you should do with your happiness, with your freedom, is to look around at the people around you and realize that they too are unlimited beings. They too are a soul, but they don't know it. So this is your job, to let them know it, to help make other people a little happier, a little greater, a little bit more unlimited, a little bit more of a soul. So that's what I wish for you, that you live your life in consonance with God's will, who is perfect, and that will give you perfect freedom, and you will use your freedom to affect other people in a positive way, and together it will spread like one candle to the next, without losing any of its original power, and will bring the Messiah, will bring the redemption, will bring paradise, will bring heaven down to earth immediately. God bless. There's one more thing we need to add, and with this we will conclude, and that is the fact that being all-powerful is something that's going to be tested every single day of your life from here on in. Things will happen. You will get a speeding ticket, and your test is whether you can be happy in that situation anyway. Do you have that option? Do you have that power, or do you not have that power? Someone calls you, needs your help. Do you have the power to truly listen to them and empathize with them, or do you not have that power? That's going to be the test. And I was just asked in Quick Check if I would like to open a Quick Check account and using their app, download their app store. Well, that's a question and a test of my all-powerfulness, is will I go and open that app and fill in the necessary information and be able to get a cheaper deal on my coffee. It might seem like a really small thing, but it's a test as to whether or not I'm all-powerful. And as an aside, and this is really not an aside, it's central, but being all-powerful is the same thing as being in touch with your soul. Your soul is a piece of God, it's a portion of God, and that means it has all of God's qualities, which means it is infinite and unlimited. So I bless you to be always in touch with your soul, always be in touch with your unlimited nature, and in doing so, you'll have a good life in this world and the next. God bless.